Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Elementar Game Channel. I am AJ Gels. Guys, we are back with Pyre. We're just going to hop right in. We're going to talk to Bertrude. You are unaccustomed to seeing Bertrude smiling, and yet there she is doing just that. You soon see why. You have observed before how her manner seems to soften to the degree it can whenever Volfred is around. If only I could have seen their faces then. What was your secret, dare I ask, dear Bertrude? It appears they are reminiscing about old times in the Commonwealth. Flame-resistant inks, Sandalwood. 'Twas the inks themselves which kept those volumes from being burnt to ash. Flame-resistant inks, of course. The good officers who came to visit, they were so intent on burning all the evidence, they did not stop to think the evidence was fireproof. Alas, that they later found a way to burn them, to burn thy stamping press regardless. Thy written words, they moved us many times, and many others whom we knew there in the southern bogs. No matter, dear Bertrude, what's done is done. At least we made it difficult for them. Is that not so? While introducing some of our fellow citizens to new ideas. Perhaps. My words would not have reached near half as many were it not for you, not to mention how I managed to elude them for another decade or so. I am thankful for your sacrifice. Thy thanks shall not be necessary, Sandalwood. Well, you shall have to take them from me. Anyhow, thank you, Bertrude, for helping to fulfill a modest author's dreams. What good's a stamping press without good inks? No good at all. They exchange a laugh at this, but then, even still, and through this new ordeal, thou hast no love for us. Is that not so, Bertrude? Nay, we understand full well. Thou needst not further explain thyself. There are different kinds of love, Bertrude. On that account, thou hast nothing to teach us, Sandalwood. They each remain silent for a time. Our hearts. They cannot be controlled, Bertrude. Blasted things they are. They act well on their own. He puts away his pipe. I am blessed to have you in my life, back in the Commonwealth, and here. As well. God, I'm getting tricked by commas. As well. I mean that. Although, I know that it is not enough. At first, Bertrude does not seem to acknowledge this in any way, but then, nay, Sandalwood, it is enough. It is enough. She departs without awaiting a response, brushing past you as she goes. Volfred soon turns away as well, politely bidding you a good evening. The two old friends have evidently managed their way past certain tensions in their long-standing relationship. They rather seem to draw a certain strength from one another. Alright. Let's continue our journey. As the wagon soars across the skies above Waking Wood, you notice Volfred appear lost in thought. You cannot sense straight away what he is thinking. Do not mind me, reader. It is simply that being here in this vicinity, it brings back a lot of memories and gives me much to ponder. I hid within those woods for many, many years, making preparation for our plan. I cast aside my raiments and became untraceable. There I waited for the plan to germinate. Hopefully that's how that's pronounced. So it means a lot, now to be here, above that place at last. Quite the view, wouldn't you say, my boy? Ah, man. I got home today, did some, finished up some homework, some other work that I had done, and you know, it's about 4 in the afternoon, 3:30, 4 in the afternoon, and I don't have to really do anything for a little bit. I rarely have nights like this where I can just sit and record for a couple hours. It feels nice. Your flight takes you near to where you breach past Stormwall into Deathless Tempest. With the climate and the downside intensifying, you wonder if the storm has spilled forth from its confines and started to ravage other regions of the land. I wonder, is the snow going to affect the next right? That'd be pretty cool. Hiya! My, that was a bit of a close call there, Nightwings. Are you perhaps intent on humiliating us even more after last time? Now then, we've a most pressing engagement soon, so I'm afraid we've little time for chat, much as I do cherish our exchanges. We must beg your leave until some other time. Yonder lies the ridge of Gaul, somewhat less imposing when viewed from this vantage point. Do you not agree, reader? The myths of the downside hold that it is no mere ridge of stone, but the remains of Lord Gandroth, once slain by Gol Galathinian. God damn, that's a hard name. Gol Galathinian. God himself. Though, perhaps such tales are of little import. Now, when you stand to confront the Tempers, they're in just short... Oh, God. Words! Damn it! As you fly aloft over the area of Downside Prairie, where your path diverged, you see Jadario peering down at the lands below. You took us through to Hollow Root that first time, if memory serves, reader. Taking sides with Greentail rather than with me. It took me a considerable length of time after that point to come to the conclusion you were not a complete fool. Hey, watch it there, Jody. My chum here's a real discerning judge of character and has good... God damn it, I can't read. And has a good direction sense for that matter. We'd probably all be stuck in a box still had we listened to you back then. Oh, indeed. They both seem to be in good spirits reminiscing about old times. Jariel and Ruki in +1 hope next right. God. I'll do a video or two where I'm doing pretty good, that I'm reading pretty well, and then I'm getting ones like this where I can't read for shit. You make a successful landing in Downside Prairie near the southern edge of the Downside. Memories of having first met Headwind, Jadario, and Dookie come flooding back. You now should have some time in the vicinity before continuing onward toward the ridge of that place. Company Volfred. You and Volfred venture into the loathsome lands of the Blooming Pool along a circuitous path. Okay. That takes you far enough away from the Black Wagon. My agent suggests that what we seek is somewhere very close, my boy. Perhaps you can already sense its presence. You can. After a careful search, you procure an artifact, either discarded by one witless to its power or left there for the sake of someone such as you. You discovered Nyland Leech. After banishing an adversary, the bearer has a chance to instantly recover all stamina. Ooh. Volfred, let's give him that one. There we go. What's this? Yields fruit from time to time, though only if one says the magic word. Keepsake from the Downside Prairie. Oh, that's neat. Let's see here. Downside Prairie. Let's see. The Downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious sap colleague Lou Sklorian. The river gushes into seeming nothingness. That seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the Downside. Its existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. The Downside's southern edge we call the Sandfolds. It is a desecrated wasteland, speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. Here, the strength of many who survived the river journey finally fails. If only they could clamber further north, where lies the verdant Downside Prairie, a better place to perish, to be sure. God. I swear, I'm literate. I can read. I'm just not showing off those skills today. Sorry. Deep in the lush overgrowth of Downside Prairie, you find a messenger looking to bring you the latest news and rumors from the other side. This time around, the imp brings tidings of Sir Gilman and what happened to him since his liberation at the fall of Salium, when at last his self-imposed exile came to an end. You learn that his return to the Commonwealth was met with much rejoicing, and that before long he was promoted to the rank of Veiled Captain on the Blood Border. And yet, with tears welling in his eyes, he did refuse the post, stating he no longer had the heart to fight against the High Wing remnants as he once did. He then cast down his helmet, and when next anyone saw him, he was among Volfred's agents, having joined the revolution to reshape the Commonwealth from within. You thanked the messenger him for the report and saluted crisply, and surely Gilman would have soon the news has everyone in the wagon talking. Tizo feels inspired by the news of Gilman's selfless actions. Hey, I can tell you one thing. It sure is quieter without having him around, right everyone? One of the Sea Dominion's own laying down his arms by his own choice? I'm honestly surprised, even having known him. Noble Gilman made the gallant choice, it seems. Our plan comes closer to fruition through his good example and support. Nigh to know, he always shall remain Sir Gilman in my eyes. It must have taken great restraint for him to do what he has done. The tears he shed ought to have been bottled and thus set aside for us in various salves. The news of Gilman's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with a newfound resolve. +1 hope for the next right. See here, in the words of Luce Glorian 100 Minds the Scholar, the serpent titan Gondrith turned to brittle stone not long after his death, of you may be certain. What remains is flat, elevated basin that stands us closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and you shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned on the rock life forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land. And then the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, and we knew how often to return. Alright. Do we need... let's go see what the slug market has. Hey, guys, so what you're doing all the way back here? You know it's not so bad here. I was thinking I got some pretty good stuff. I think you have to check it out. Both of these seem like they could be useful. Nah, I like what I have right now, though. Well, I guess maybe I should pack it up for the day. Let's commence the rite. Typically, Jadariel is always among the first to start making preparations for the rites, just as soon as you arrive amid such places as the wind-swept fields of the Ridge of Gaul. This time, however, she does not assist the others. She has not even donned the raiments. Your concern is noted, reader, but it is misplaced. It is only that the one we are to face this time, Ignarius. We denied his liberty before. It seems almost cruel to see him further back. How absurd that I should even care. It is simply that I seldom see those with features similar to mine, those who have survived here long enough to earn their horns. I shall go now to prepare. Soon it is nightfall and the stars begin to shine. See here, your adversary shall return from banishment. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hell no, I'm not taking that one. Oh, God, I've had this thing. That's why I keep getting my ass kicked by Lendl and those guys. God. That explains a lot. Yes, I'm being a giant wuss. I'm playing this playthrough vanilla. I'm going to do another one on my own time. Just because this game seems like it should be... I'm not going to say easy to platinum. There's a lot of tedious work, but I'm going to shoot for the platinum in my what little spare time I have.
The time is nigh, you exiles of the Night Wings. You are returned once more unto the Ridge of Gaul. The adversaries you are to confront shall be the Tempers. Reduce their pyre to a smolder and step closer to freedom. Now prepare yourselves.
Hey, well, if it isn't Curly Horns. Surprised they didn't let you out already. Not that I'm complaining, was hoping I'd run into you again. See, when you've been stuck in here for, about 14 years, not that I'm counting or anything, you gain some appreciation for the simple stuff, you know? Bit of cool breeze, a solid meal. Anyway, it's good to see you in one piece is all. Jadario removes her mask and stares at him. Why are you doing this? We have a right to conduct. Yeah, well, I've conducted a lot of rights, you know? Fat lot of good it's done for me. Jesus. Yet here we are again. Yeah, anyway. He throws on his mask. Guess we'd better get things started. Our kind, we've got a reputation to uphold. Jadario watches him for several moments, then rejoins her group. Okay, so Ash and Cole. Our adversary, Ignarius. His heart is not in this. We should be able to prevail against him without difficulty.
Choose now your band of traitors.
He really does not like us. Huh. It says Burrow. Crime assault. Struck a ranking Commonwealth official. He was in no danger. Anger record shows that he showed no ability to restrain himself. That sounds about right. Alright, so he's got that. Ash and Cole, he's brought out. Yeah, +3 presence. I'm not too terribly worried about him. Same thing, +3 present. Okay. Alright, we're also gonna go with Rookie. Contemplating Tizo, but you know what? I want to level up Volfred. Plus, I could use the extra presence. Ignarius, you used to be the fiercest demon I had ever met. Has the downside finally quenched your burning spirit? Bring it on then, Nightwings. Let's see you beat me again.
Go! Commence! The path to glory laid bare. So much for Volfred.
Ah, crap.
Rookie doused the adversary's flames.
You ain't half bad there, Curly Horns, you know? Shame we're on opposite sides like this and all, fighting over who gets out of here. Back home, I would have just walked up and brought us both a drink. I would have punched you in the mouth. Ignarius laughs heartily at this. That's what I like about you, Curly Horns. You hate my guts as much as I do. Now come on, let's see you stomp me one more time, just like you Nightwings did up on that mountaintop. Is he some sort of masochist?
The fading glory of the great Ignarius. These days he is nothing but an aging brute.
Got him first. Damn it.
Nice.
Crap. Couldn't get him fast enough.
A show of strength from the Nightwing's opponents. Seize the orb. A second wind. How very sad for the Templars. Such wherewithal.
Bam!
The Nightwing's pyre burns brighter for now. gone. Tough luck, Nightwings.
Nope, I'm gonna get hit.
The orb sails forth into the...
I threw it.
Yes. Splendid.
God damn it, I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm trying to jump. I keep forgetting that button is square.
The Nightwings seem to be falling behind. Fear not the purifying flame. This is the path to glory. Sorry, Wilfred. Ferocity unbridled.
Damn it.
No, not Ignatius.
Damn it.
Merely a glancing blow. Didn't see it coming. Wilfred banished. The orb engulfed in fire.
Trying to score with Volfred, it's really quite hard.
I almost pity what transpired there. You left yourselves wide open.
Yeah, I did.
Now to the flame. An opportunity. And it
Yeah!
the Nightwings prevail. Meanwhile, their adversaries wallow in defeat. The rite is complete.
Well, Curly Horns, what can I tell you? Guess you Nightwing still got a spring in your step. You could have prevailed. Why did you hold back? You really want to know there, huh? Indulge me. Sure, you're free tomorrow night. Jadariel scoffs at this. She dons her mask, then she turns and walks away from him without another word. Ignarius simply stands and stares. Damn. Ooh, I think he's got a thing. Got a thing for her. The rites would have me think that I have nothing left to learn, whether that a falsehood or a contradiction, I am yet uncertain. Nonetheless, I shall press on, for the limits of my mastery always have exceeded my grasp, and I expect they always shall. Miami. Here, after banishing an adversary, Jadari recovers all stamina. Have I not picked that skill up?
Praise be to Solium. That Wilfred always was a little slow to pick things.
It's been a while since my last outings in the rites, beginning for your continued patience as I recollect the way. And choose mastery. Legacies of old 100 mines, rites masteries, enhancing a sap's ability to spawn saplings and protect his triumvirate. Rites masteries, enhancing a sap's triumvirate's ability to preserve in a rite. Once per rite, if Volfred's adversaries extinguish his pyre, is restored by 10 plus instead. Both of those are pretty good, but I'll take Final Kindling.
Of old 100 mines. Until the next.
Damn. Someone's there, sneaking around. Show yourself already. She stands there for a moment saying nothing, then. This was a mistake. She leaves just as soon as she arrived. Hey, hold up. Curly horns. Wait! Wait! She keeps him waiting there. Ignarius just shakes his head. And he keeps waiting, for there is little else for him to do there in the downsides. He keeps waiting, but not for very long. Not for very long. The flip is happening. Come on, guys, shit or get off the pot. I could have said something else, but I decided to go for a less crass option. Because, you know, what I said was the less crass option. After you overcame the Tempers in a pitched battle, there's little time for you to rest, as yet the night beckons and the next rite reveals itself to be a vital one. It is already time, reader. Come see for yourself. The coldness of the season now presents to us another chance. He heads out straight away as you follow in turn. Indeed, among the remaining stars you see one which you are familiar now burns ever brightly, the path to freedom laid bare before you. Jesus. Let's check out the planner. So yeah, we're taking on the accusers. Rights conducted 18, exiles liberated 33, and 56%. I think we're gonna give Jadariel her freedom next. Where is it? There it is. Already are the Nightwing summoned back to Mount Aladiel. Picture the rights as a wheel broken free from a black wagon. It is turning uncontrollably and soon shall reach a sudden stop. We should have several chances left for someone to go free, either us or else our adversaries, but not both. What is at stake each time is further complicated now, I must admit, knowing we have so few opportunities remaining. Those whom we send back into the Commonwealth, should our plans somehow fail, they may look back upon their exile with fondness, so returning to the Commonwealth is not inherently a mercy, I don't think. Moreover, there are also those among us whom we count on to prevail in the rights. We need them on the Nightwings just as much as we need them in the Commonwealth. We cannot simply grow our numbers here given the circumstances. And so, who stays, who goes? These choices affect us all. No pressure there, my boy. Now, I don't know about you, but I shall go and take my leave for now. Let's set forth at daybreak. You thought Rookie was trying to get your attention, but soon realized his attention is fixated on somebody else. Might I assist you with something there, Mr. Greentail? Rookie has not struck you as the sort to ever be at a loss for words, and yet... no, I was just, trying to see if maybe... Pamitha gives a little laugh, not in an unkind way. At ease, Rookie, darling. You should know I have no immediate plans to snatch you up and eat you for a snack, if that was your concern. No, it's just, I mean, What is it then, Look, I got this really stupid question here, been bugging me, is all. It's just us curs, we don't have many run-ins with you folks, and so, what is your really stupid question, Rookie, darling? Okay, here goes. How come you always wear that hat? Pamitha remained silent for a moment then. This helm was given to me by my blood sister on the night of my first kill. Slowly she reaches for the helm. Druki Greentail, this helm, it means nothing to me now. I want you to keep it. What? Then Pamitha begins to laugh again. Come on, Rookie, darling. You've got to stop being so serious around me all the time. I don't bite. Besides, we seem to make a decent enough team out there, I think. You're pretty quick. Rookie laughs rather sheepishly. Alright. You got me pretty good there, sister. So, that stuff you said about the hat then. Total nonsense, mostly. I just happen to like it. So, you're saying I can't keep it? If I get out of here before you, Mr. Greentail, it's all yours. It's a deal. He skitters off before Pamitha can respond. She simply shrugs at you and smiles. Let's see here. Mur, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals, ingrained in the triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he had a dualistic nature, for as long as he and I considered each a friend, the stories I am told about Mur's youth describe no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I once was an imp that could not write. Mur once was a man that could not think. The Tempers once were ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Mur himself. Rather, they are what Mur wished he could be. As usual, I just feel like going long for this one. So let's go do the liberation rite. The inverted fall of Saliam roars into the sky. Somewhere beyond it lies the Commonwealth, beyond your vision and beyond your grasp. Alas, that we can't simply fly on back up to our homeland. This wagon has its limitations, I'm afraid. But we shall return yet. Let us continue now along the path. Let's see here, where are we gonna land? Either Emperor's Fall for Jadariel, Emperor's Ascent, Tizo. You know what? I think we're gonna give Jadariel her freedom. I think that's the next one I'm gonna do. You make landing upon Mount Alagiel, where Volfred pulls you aside while the others complete their post-flight inspection. He puffs at his pipe before speaking up. Reader, as you know, I now wear the raiments once again. This means that I myself may soon be worthy to regain my freedom in the eyes of the 8 scribes. No, however, that is not my wish to go just yet. It is true I could be of some benefit to our plan back in the Commonwealth, but I feel my place is here for the time being. Perhaps once the Nightwings are on a sure footing in their path, my time shall come. Those are my feelings on the matter, and I wanted you to know. I shall, of course, defer to you. Our path is not to contradict the reader's will. Anyway, I trust that all of us, yourself included, shall find our freedom. If not soon, then by when all of this is over. Jadariel has seemed more reserved, even than usual since her confrontation with Ignarius and the Tempers. Nonetheless, she addresses you. Tell me something, reader. Back where you came from, did you have someone whom you considered close? Jadariel is asking of your past life. However brief the memory of the relationship is something you always bear. You mentioned briefly to Jadariel about a past relationship that meant something to you. She shows no reaction to the details, but you can tell that she is listening. I see. I had someone as well. It is something which did not end well, but there were times. She trails off. We had our times. She looks up at you and then, that Ignarius, he's a base fool. We have not a thing in common save a set of horns. Yet here I am, drawing comparisons with how I felt at times back in the Commonwealth while speaking to you of him. I am a little old to be having such thoughts, reader, especially in a place such as this. Thank you for your time. Do not reveal this to the others. It is a trifling matter and not to be of anyone's concern, especially not mine. Jadariel makes evident that she has nothing else to say about this. Alright. You admit not without some degree of difficulty that you have grown to care for her yourself, and you understand full well how Ignarius must feel. You knew from the first that you had never met anyone like her, but you could never have surmised the degree to which this turned out to be true. Jadariel says nothing at first. Brave of you to say. Such flattery. How brave of you to say. In turn, and as this conversation demonstrates, I have come to value your kinship. But we shall have to draw a boundary there, for a variety of reasons. I know I am not being delicate, but you and I both understand, I think, how feelings operate. Please forgive me mine. I care for you, and I am grateful that you care for me. She departs with a nod. You sense her mood grown darker for the moment, not because of anything you said, but because of how she knows she made you feel. Wait, I said that as in let's keep working together and whatever. I meant that to be a sign. I care for her as a whatever. I have a wonderful person. Oh Christ. Having completed the post-flight inspection, you and Jadariel visit the monument of Galathinian. God damn it, I hate that word. Here in the Emperor's Fall. You scribes are quite predictable. The others were naive to think our opportunities at freedom were indefinite. So, now we have to make the most of every chance, is that not so? I fail to see how that is any different than before. Soon she has finished paying her respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Galathinian has shown you favor. You soon shall ascend the mountain, though there is time now to prepare your vocations. Jadariel has gained +2 hope for the next rite. Study in private. You locate a secluded area nearby where you should be able to study the Book of Rites. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Jesus. Sorry, hiccups. Focus on which part of the Book of Rites you like. Oh, quickness or presence. You know what? I think I'll take quickness or presence. You attune yourself to the strange and mystic properties of the Book of Rites, embracing such as possible that which cannot be explained or truly known. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. You gain reader's influence, tenacity. All Nightwings gain +1 presence. Temple Cistern for Ruki. Hamatha. I'm probably going to use Ruki. I'm probably not going to use Pamitha in the next rite. It all kind of comes down to what Lendel's going to use, because I think it's going to be him and 2 demons, but I could be totally wrong. En route to the mountaintop, you pass by a monument to Under King Oris, and Ruki happens to take notice. Okay, look, you know old Ruki Greentail doesn't like to beg, but now I'm here and we ain't got a lot of chances left at getting out of here. Well then, you gotta let me out of here. Come on. Who deserves it any more than me, huh? Mom's out there waiting for old Ruki to come home. Soon he is finished paying his respects. As you prepare to continue your ascent, you sense the Under King Oris has shown him favor. Ruki has gained +3 glory for the next ride. You know what? Maybe I'm debating actually. Do I want to send Ruki? I'm almost out of speed-based characters. You and your fellow exiles gather at the foot of Scribe's Gate before an archway carved in stone where stands the Gate Guardian. Greetings to you, Celeste. I see the exiles of the Nightwings have returned, even as the cycle of rites begins drawing to a close. The Nightwings accept this as the will of the Scribes. The Gate Guardian laughs at this, softly, for some reason. And you, Tariq? Do you accept their will as well? But the lone minstrel does not answer her. It is no matter. Now, Nightwings, each of you come forth and state what it is that you seek. Whilst crossing Scribe's Gate, one by one the Nightwings declare themselves. You all pass through as before. When Volfred takes his turn, Celeste stops him. You. I see you wear the raiments once again. Explain. The cycle of the rites is ending. While I do not know exactly why, I have my fears. One of my contemporaries, he who fell from the summit long ago, he lives and seeks his liberty again. He stands against us now and believes his triumvirate to be the true Nightwings. I remember well the contemporary whom you mean. Then the Nightwings stand divided. Yes. So I wear the raiments once again, in case that it may help to right this wrong. For I am Volfred Sandalwood, and I seek liberty for each of us, so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. She considers Volfred's words for a moment. I see. Move along. The guardian of the Scribe Gate regards you all, and then she beckons you onward. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Celeste. What is Tariq? The will of the scribes. Long have we both followed it. I think you would agree in equal measure, has it drawn us close as separated us. But if their aim now is to keep us apart for another age or longer, then no, I do not accept their will. You blaspheme, Tariq, and at the gate no less. But the lone minstrel simply puts his hat back on. Then may the scribes themselves admonish me. Until tomorrow night, Celeste. Having reached the peak of Mount Deladiel again, you see the vastness of the downside all around you. It leaves you deep in thought regarding which of your companions ought to go free this night, and as Sir Gilman did the last time. Volfred looks up at you as you approach and smiles. I never thought that I would say such things, my boy, but it is good to wear the raiments and the rites once more. The march of time does have a way of healing certain hurts. Besides, the Nightwings of today, we are a very different beast than the triumvirate which took me in almost a decade ago. Ours was a triumvirate of exactly 4 with Tizo, who provided to be an exception. Though historically the Nightwings never took on more exiles than needed. I have mentioned my predecessor, Brighton, and my former companions, Orissa and Orlek. Perhaps naively, I had hoped my time with them would not be relevant directly to what we now attempt. But seeing as our stories are now intertwined, do let me know if there is more you wish to learn of them. Volfred invites you to inquire about the former Nightwings. Yeah, I kind of want to know about her, the one who caused all this to happen. You ask about Orissa, who you understand betrayed Orlek at the moment of his liberation, but then perished in the Shimmer Pool. I'm afraid you know the brunt of it, my boy, but I suppose you ought to know something of Orissa's past, lest you be quick to judge her solely by her actions. Mind you, I would never make excuses for the terrible choice she ultimately made, but her life, I understand, was very difficult. Orissa had been exiled for the foulest of acts. You could see it plainly branded on her face, such was the heinousness of what she did in the eyes of the Commonwealth. She was an apprentice blacksmith in her youth, taking up the post left by her brother. He had fallen in battle on the Blood Border, despite wielding their father's own lance and armor. Her father never quite recovered after this and had grown cruel and detached. It was Orissa who took the brunt of his fury. He expected the impossible of her. One day it was all too much for her, so when next he lashed out at her, she struck back. She struck back again and again and again. When they came for her, her father was gone, and she was not herself. She was promptly cast into the downside for the crime, where her hatred for the Commonwealth only grew. Orissa always was intense in her demeanor, haunted by her father's memory. More than that, her chief motive for wanting back her freedom was, in hindsight, not a healthy one. She longed to join our nation's enemies, to build for the High Wing remnants a great siege engine that could shatter the defenses of the Commonwealth and forever end our feud. What she ultimately did to Orlek, it was an act of pure and thoughtless desperation. I do not think that it was simply evil, nor do I think that it was personal. I often wonder, though, if, in her final moments in the Shimmer Pool, she understood what she had done, and the depths to which she had fallen. For years, I must admit I hated her, but now my only hope is that she found a peace untenable during her relatively short life in the Downside and the Commonwealth. Furthermore, I hope the life of Orissa offers some perspective yet to those of us who have not made the same mistakes. Now then, was there something else? Well, let's keep asking questions. You inquire about Brighton, who you understand was liberated prior to when Volfred first joined the Nightwings. I never met Brighton in person, but I know him rather well by now, though for that matter, my boy. So do you. He studies your reactions for a moment then. Brighton was born wealthy, but not special, otherwise you would have no reason to have heard of him. He was exiled for negligent misconduct. I do not know exactly why and do not care for spreading rumors. I first heard of him through Orissa and Orlek, who found in me a suitable replacement following his liberation. They spoke little of him. Orlek gave the impression they did not see eye to eye, but he assured me I soon would hear from him myself. Indeed, as I became accustomed to the book, which you know well by now, I soon began to hear the voice. Volfred looks at you and... God, as if you yet take his meaning. Yes, you see, my boy. After Brighton's liberation, he assumed a new identity within the Commonwealth, and a new responsibility to the Triumvirate which liberated him. That voice you hear from time to time, whensoever the stars align, it's his. He is no longer Brighton. He is now none other than the Archjustice Androblus the Ninth himself. Jeez, that's a bunch of hard words to say. Liberated exiles retain certain burdens to their old triumvirates. They have much to thank them for, not just their freedom, but their exalted status in the Commonwealth. The theocratic rulers of the Commonwealth, they do not wear masks and raiments simply for the sake of ceremony. They are not who they appear to be. Their public pasts are nothing but a fabrication, like Brighton. They only were exiles, too. Brighton, that voice, he has no love for either one of us by now. He knows full well what we attempt to do, yet he is bound by the traditions of the rites. He shall always stand on ceremony and complain, but I think he knows deep down that he is powerless. How ironic that one of such high status in the Commonwealth should be so frightened of some long-forgotten exiles such as we. Anyway, that's Brighton for you. He must have seen in you the potential to be one of his staunch supporters for a time. If that's a path you'd wanted to pursue, I should apologize. Now then, whom else should we talk about? Now let's finish up with Orlek. You ask about what Orlek was like when he and Volfred first became acquainted. Volfred remained silent for some time. I was very, very sick, when I first landed in the Downside. The long trip down the river must have been a little much for me. It was Orlek who found me. He could not have known of my capacity to read before he revived me. He was a physician, intolerant of the sight of suffering of any kind. Not just any physician, mind you, a gifted, highly decorated one. He served on the front. Back then, skirmishes erupted frequently, and those such as Orlek, they had to deal with many casualties on either side. In time, he said he grew repulsed by what he saw. This showed in his heart of yearning for an end to all the bloodshed, so he tried to use his status to negotiate a treaty with the High Wing remnants. It must have gone about how you would expect. He was given direct orders to return to the front, but when he refused to soil his hands again, they cast him down to the Downside. Here he gained the notice of the Nightwings, and before long, he grew to be one of the finest rite conductors anyone had ever seen. He was instrumental in the liberation of his companions, whose role in the Triumvirate were later filled by Orissa and me. In time, Orlek's own opportunity for freedom had come up. He longed for it, so that with his exalted status, he might stand a better chance of negotiating peace. However, on the evening of his liberation, well, you know the story from that point, Volfred breathes a heavy sigh. He and I were kindred spirits for a while. I could not bear to think that he was gone, and now I still cannot entirely believe that he is back. He is our adversary now, transformed, grown cold. Still, part of me is happy that he lives. Make no mistake, of course, I shall not be swayed against our plan, not by Orlek or anyone. As I have said before, we share a higher calling now. As for Orlek, he wants his freedom still, although I wonder if he still remembers why. Anyway, was there something else, my boy? You bid Volfred a good afternoon and leave him with his memories. My pleasure, reader. Reflecting on the past from time to time helps demonstrate how far we've come, yet how much further we have yet to go. Alright, because that ate up a good chunk of time reading that stuff, and actually I like that it kind of gave us a look into the past of some of the characters. I'm actually going to call this one here. Next one we'll do the Liberation Rite. I just want to say, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Facebook, Twitter, the website, minds.com. Links, all that stuff can be found down in the description below. Please remember to like, comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more next time, guys. But until then, I am AJ Gels. This is the Gaming Channel. One more time, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm out.